NBA Straya, how are you going? How you going? I hope you're right. You should be. I'll tell you what, it's Friday. TGIF, am I right? I hate to be a 10 in about, no time. It is Friday, November 22, all day. I'm your host, James Clements. This is NBA Straya. You can see my ugly mug on the official NBL Supercoach show, the panel, the AFL Today's show, and of course, NFL Straya, lots of other stuff. I'm here, Larry. I'm in studio, sweating like a priest near a preschool because it is hot. It's a bloody hot day here in Melbourne. But anyway, just a quick one today. We're episode 1160. We're talking All-Star game changes. They're screwing with the format again. So, of course, I've got some thoughts. Anyway, Luka's hurt. That's not good. Paul George is obviously hurt. Joel Embiid's probably going to kill Nick Nurse. That's pretty interesting. And we've got a big NBA Cup and weekend preview for you. But we're going to wrap up 4 games today. We've got That's Not a Knife, Old Mate, No Mate, Spud of the Night, Better Than Lonzo Ball. We've got some Nazi, Unpopular Opinion of the Day, Outback Takehouse. Bit of All-Star in there, I'll tell you that much. We're serving up a flame grilled take. Very simple one. We've got the Luke Longley Award for Role Player of the Week and a huge set of game previews for your weekend. Pick and preview everything. NBA Cup is fascinating tomorrow, so you better strap in for that. We'll close out with Cooking with Bainesy as well for you. All right, that'll do it. Let's get into it. Episode 1160 of NBA Straya. Let's go!
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gaze.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Dyson Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
Hi, this is Ryan Brockhoff.
This is Mitch Creek. This is Nick Kay.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya. And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the shark attack.
You better. All the sweating attack for Charles Barkley. Don't know if you saw the footage from that. That's pretty funny. Blake Griffin's impersonation of Charles Barkley is pretty funny as well. Also, I don't know, there's a bit of Shaq stuff out there. Him versus Gronk. Let's go. That's pretty fun. All right, let's start today's show the way we start every show here at NBA Show with the daily whip around. That's right, we're changing the All-Star game again. Of course, because why wouldn't we? That just makes too much sense. There's going to be a new 4-team tournament-style format for the 2025 All-Star game, which will be 2 semi-final games that go up to 40 points, with the winners advancing to the final match, which goes to 25. So, it's meant to be a quick burst competition that resembles pickup games, where the winner moves to the championship round in single elimination play. Right, so 3 All-Star teams of 8 players and the winner of the Rising Stars game go in this, apparently. So, who's this for? Oh, it's going to be more like pickup. Yeah, pickup shit. Just make him care about playing the actual fucking game. It's not rocket surgery. I'll talk about this again later, but jeez. Talk about trying to fix something and just doing like, how about we try this? It's like, have you asked anybody about this? It sounds fucking horrible. Anytime you have to explain anything longer than a fucking sentence, you've cooked it. Anyway, so the All-Star will be completely different, and we'll get to All-Star and be like, we'll have to fucking run over the instructions and figure out how it all fucking works again. I mean, this is a fucking All-Star thing that can't get a simple dunk comp right. And they think this is going to be great. Fuck me. This is a dog's breakfast. Anyway, other news. Luka is out for a week, at least, with a wrist sprain. So he sprained his right wrist. That sucks for the Mavs. Interesting to see how they go without him, though. But still, pretty tough one for the Mavs, who are obviously trying to keep up with all the rest of the teams in the West. That's a tough one. Scotty Barnes came back today against the Wolves. That's fun. So he missed 11 games in 3 weeks with an orbital fracture, which is about right, apparently. And good on him. He wasn't too bad either. And Paul George. So officially, he has another bone bruise in his left knee. So he's out for at least the next 2 games. The MRI said there was no structural damage, which is good. So he's out for the left knee bone bruise for the next 2 games at least, and will be reevaluated next week. So we'll see how we go there. And 2 other little bits. Kind of about retirement. So Rodney Hood. I don't know if you remember Rodney Hood. I got a bit of time for Rodney Hood. Every time your team got Rodney Hood, you're like, oh yeah, he can shoot, he can do it. And he was never as good as you'd sort of think. But he was handy. So he played 8 years in the NBA with Utah, Cleveland, Portland, Milwaukee, and the Clippers. He tried to come back through the G League last year and he got injured again. And that was kind of always the thing. He'd have these awesome flashes. Like, yeah, the size and length to be the sort of ideal 3 and D dude. And the threes were there for a bit. The D was there for a little bit. And then he'd sort of just have another calf injury or something. And it just sucked. Poor dude. So Paul went out for Rodney Hood. And Hubie Brown. He's 91 years old. And this will be his final season calling basketball. So the president of ESPN, Burke Magnus, said, also, what a name, Burke Magnus. Jesus. There's definitely some skeletons in that closet, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, we're going to give Hubie one last shot on a game, which seems weird. It's like, are they challenging? We're going to give you one last shot there, Hubie, or else you're on your ass. He's 91! What do you mean one last shot? We're going to give him one more celebratory game is what you should be fucking saying. Burke, feed me. There's a drop for you. But there'll be a celebration for his final appearance behind the mic. And that's what? Hubie is very old. He's 91. But by the same token, my favorite thing about Hubie has always been how much he fucking loves basketball. He fucking loves basketball. And yeah, he sort of would always, like, my only criticism of his, like, his calling and his commentary was always, he'd just like, and this is a guy who shot 11 of 17 from the field, 2 of 3 from the 3-point line, and like, he just sort of rattle off stats. It's like, he's an old dude. What are you going to do? But that dude fucking loves basketball. So love me some Hubie Brown. All right, let's do some game wraps real quick. Game wraps. We had an absolute chaos game between Charlotte and the Detroit Basketball Pistons. 123-121. Charlotte winning overtime. It was wild. A huge run by the Hornets in the third quarter. Josh Green couldn't miss. LaMelo's hitting off-balance bullshit threes. They got up 15. He had, 15 points in the third quarter. He had 31 points to that point. He's falling over, throwing it in from the bloody logo. Got him up 20. And the Pistons fought back. Got it down to 14. Got it back to 11 at the start of the fourth. Got it back to 8 after a Tobias Harris 3. And then it was all just sort of falling apart for Charlotte. And you're like, yeah, this team is young and kind of shit. But so are kind of Detroit. So it was like 2 one-legged men in an ass-kicking contest. Like, they were turning blocks into points. How good was that? Cody Martin, legendary. But then you have like a dumb foul on Jalen Duren by Martin for a 3-point play. Cody Martin giveth, Cody Martin taketh away. Grant Williams, threes. You're just like, that's the best shot you can take. Beasley's missing threes. Tobias kept hitting threes. It was nuts. And LaMelo kept taking shitter and shitter shots as the game got closer and closer. He's taking like step back long twos. And you're like, what the fuck is going on here? It's tied up. Cade hit some free throws. It's like a 23-7 run by the Detroit Pistons at that point. But Cade hurts his hip. He has to go out. Beasley misses 2 game-winning attempts. LaMelo doesn't get his to go at the end as well. And it's back and forth in the overtime. Huge. Brandon Miller was incredible in this game. Hit a massive 3 to put him back up by 4. There's like a big tip-in from Moose. Beef Stew got one as well. But Brandon Miller hit like a big dagger 3. Ivy hit a 3 just like falling over. He stepped out of bounds as well, BT Dubs. But the Hornets just hold on. Crazy win. Crazy game. Pistons had 19 turnovers. Their defense is just so weird. They're such a weird mess of a team. You can see the outline of a good team in there, and Charlotte are kind of the same, right? So it'll take a little bit for these teams to like get good-ish. And they've got these young backcourts and young studs everywhere. Cade ends up with 27, 7, and 10. The big thing here is obviously how hurt is he? Hurts his hip. He shot 9 and 26. 26 and 8 for Tobias Harris because, of course, he did. Against Charlotte. Tobias Harris, just there you go. Jaden Ivey, not good. 11 points. He was in foul trouble early. Beasley had 15 shots through 16 points. Hornets go 20 of 44 from downtown. Very handy. LaMelo had 35. Shot 12 of 27. 4 of 14 from 3. It was so bad to watch some of them. But some of the ones that he hit were absolutely insane. Spindles Miller had 38. Career high. He was awesome. 15 and 26. 8 of 12 from 3. Cody had 15. Greeny had 10. 12 for Grant Williams, and he hit some free throws down the stretch. Detroit dropped to 7 and 10. Charlotte 6 and 9. Nice. Minnesota got their heads kicked in Toronto because no one told me that this Toronto court was going to be happening today. That court was sick. Big Raptor in the middle. The purple everywhere. It looked amazing. Scotty Barnes came back. Brutal half. First half for the Wolves. They shot 37%. Only trailed by 1. And then down in the fourth quarter, it was back and forth, back and forth. You figured the Wolves would like sort of just end up stretching out the lead. Nope. Raps ripped off this 9-0 run to go up by 6. Huge fourth quarter. Toronto just run away with it in the end. The Wolves just had no punches. Like Ant-Man's screaming at Gobert. Randall's not passing him the ball. It's just all falling apart there in Minnesota, and it's funny. Just saying. Their offense looks completely discombobulated. And it's like this weird thing of like maybe Cat was papering over some cracks last year of this team just being a bit shit because Cat only had 5 games with 30-plus points last year, I think, and he's already up to 6 in New York, which is crazy. And their offense is just a horrible shit show at times. Like, he put up 105 points on Toronto, who can't stop anybody. It was amazing. Like, it doesn't help that Dante's been bad. Naz Reid, he hurt himself as well at the end of this game. And if he's bad, they're dead. And if he's not playing, they're fucked. So, yeah, the Wolves are horrible. 17 turnovers. That was brutal. He had 26 to Ant. McDaniels threw in 27. Randall had 23, 9, and 2 steals. And it wasn't enough. They were just bad everywhere else. The Raps, RJ Barrett's on his customary sort of 2-week tear that he just ripped. 2 weeks, I'm good. 2 weeks, I'm shit. 2 weeks, I'm good. 31 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. He was really good. Chris Bobby Boucher was massive off the bench with 22 for the Raptors. Scoob had 17 and 6 in his return. Teenage Mutant Jakob Poeltl had 15 and 12. Not bad. They shot over 51% and went 7 of 23 from downtown. Crazy game for the Raptors. Minnesota dropped to 8 and 7, and this is alarm bell territory. This team, look, it felt like they were sort of getting it sorted, and now they just look like dog shit again. Toronto are 4 and 12. Utah fell against San Antonio, 118-126. I love that Spurs court. Did you see that one today? Go check it out. It is beautiful. Utah blew a 20-point lead. Utah are bad. Should have played Patty Mills against the Spurs. Don't know what you're doing. No Wemby for the Spurs. Apparently no problem. Like, Lowry and Keontae were scoring at will early. Bryce Sensabaugh, Johnny Uzang were hitting threes at the bench. It was all clicking. And then the Spurs shredded them down the stretch. It was amazing to watch. Utah just couldn't do anything. And the Spurs were just running rampant. They got it close and then they just eked it out. And like Lowry tried, he didn't have enough. He ends up with 27 and 4. 18 and 14 for Jordan Collins. That's a tall cocktail. 19 for Keontae George, the key master. 6 of 18 shooting though. He is just brutal. 18 for Colin Sexton, giving us 1 rebound and 1 assist as well. 3 turnovers. Thanks, man. Thanks. Sensabaugh at 18. Obviously, no Jeremy Jordan Clarkson, but yeah, no excuses there for the Yaz. That was horrible. There's no other way to put it, I'll tell ya.
This is horrible. There's no other way to put it.
Whereas for the Spurs, 8 players in double figures. Even though they only went 9 of 32 from downtown, they had 11 turnovers to 14, 46 free throws to 26, which is absurd. That's how you win it. Just get to the line. Harrison Barnes, Black Falcon, 25 and 10. Chris Paul, 13 and 10. Stephon Castle was awesome, 18 and 6. Zachy Collins, 18 and 5. Bassett, Trey, Calden, 11, 11 and 12. They smashed it. Utah are now, 3 and 12. They're horrible. And the Spurs are 8 and 8. I'm going to talk about them again later, but this is great treading water. Nice one. And speaking of great treading water, the Orlando Magic beat the Lakers. Oh, the Lakers. They've played a real team and they lose. You hate to see it.
The Lakers stink.
That's right. Franz versus LeBron. And guess who won? Franz Wagner. Hello. Hits the game winner at the end. Absolute chaos reigns. God, this game was sick. Goga. Goga ends up with 7 and 15 going against AD. Anthony Davis musters 39 points and 9 rebounds with 3 blocks. Takes the game winner. Absolutely goes nowhere near it. After Franz nails the game-winning 3 at the end. Absolute sicko territories. I loved it. Everyone was flipping out. LeBron's hitting these 3s at the end. It's just like, yes, Dalton connects, crushing it in the middle. And the Lakers fans are absolutely up and about. And then Franz Wagner just takes their bloody heart. This game was awesome. The Magic, look, I've said they've not been too much chop away from home, and all it took apparently was Franz Wagner rediscovering how to fucking shoot threes. He went 4 of 10 from downtown and he's 37 points. The thing is, I've obviously, if you listen to this show, I've loved Franz Wagner from like basically his rookie year. And the coolest part is he does a little bit of everything. If his 3 balls drop, and it's awesome because he had 11 assists today and 4 steals with 6 rebounds. That is amazing to go with 37 bloody points. 19 for Big Mo Wagner, hello, and his big pumpkin head. 12 and 4 for Tristan Da Silva, the rookie. He's very solid. 11 for Gary Harris. Jalen Suggs hit 5 of 13 from downtown. Just all of them killers. He had 23, 5 and 5. And for the Lakers, LeBron ends up with 31, 10 and 7. AD has that aforementioned 39 and 9 with 3 blocks. They got 17 from Dalton Connect. He didn't score in the fourth quarter. Austin Reeves, 3-12. What the hell, man? D'Angelo Russell, nah, man, we love him coming off the bench. We don't want to trade him anymore. He shot 3 of 10 and he was shit house. 7.6 assists, 2 fouls, 1 of 7 from downtown. D-Lo! Keeping it real. It was horrible. Anyway, great win for the Magic men. That was incredible. They're now 10-7. They're 3-7 away now. And the Lakers dropped to 10-5, having just played a real team. Let's do an NBA Straya approved performance of the Knights.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
It was Franz Wagner. He hit the game winner in LA against the Lakers, against LeBron. It was amazing. What a game he played. He had 37, 11, and 4. That's 4 steals, 6 rebounds, shot 13 and 26 and 4 of 10 from 3. He was immense. Without Balamancano, they've managed to be awesome, the Magic men. They've won 2 away games now since they've lost Paolo. They're now 3-7 on the road. That's awesome. Way to go, Orlando. Way to go, Franz. And then, of course, the other one, NBA Straya, that's not a knife. LaMelo, 35, 6, and 9. Pretty good. But the third quarter that he had was sick. But Brandon Miller, he was absolutely unreal. 38 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. Crushed it. In that overtime against Detroit, he was the reason the Charlotte Hornets won that game. He went 8 of 12 from downtown. You're taking the piss at that point. Great stuff from Spindles Miller. God, he was good. He had some great defensive moments as well. He's a weapon. But the real winner out of today, outside of those 3 players, is the Raptors home court. How good was that? That and the Spurs court. It was a great day for courts. They look sick. I was so happy. I'm an idiot. Never get it twisted. Absolute moron, you made, Jim. And I'm just a childlike delight whenever there's a good court. And the Charlotte one as well was pretty handy. So I'm just watching all these games go, this is great. I just like fun courts. And there's no excuse not to have a fun fucking court. That's maybe why I love the NBA Cup so much. It's just insane. So that's good. Nice one. What about Spud of the night?
Spud, 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 it is Spud of the night.
Spud of the night. We had a couple of big spuds. A couple of good ones, actually. You had the 1 of 8 shooting for Isaiah Collier and Naz Reid. And then Naz Reid goes out injured late, which was a bit of a bummer. You had the 2 of 10 for Trey Man. Austin Reeves with these 3 and 12, obviously. 6 of 18 for Keontae George. It was brutal watching that one unfold. You also had 1 of 6 for Tim Hardaway Jr. He just forgot how to shoot and Detroit sucked. But my favorite one was probably Jaden Ivey. Because I'm just checking. What did he go and shoot today for his 11 points? Oh, that's right. Woo! Chill! Yeah, he went and shot 311, baby! Thanks, Jaden Ivey. That was awesome. Who's old mate, no mates?
Old mate, no mates.
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 Who's got no mates today? The Sixers snitch. So Joel Embiid's going to basically try to kill Nick Nurse, and it very clearly seems like the snitch in the Sixers locker room I was talking about the closed doors meeting is Nick Nurse, because he says the elephant in the room is the big fellow, and Maxey, the elephant in the room is Embiid is just a dick. And it turns out Nick Nurse fucking loves saying the elephant in the room. He's said it multiple times to the media. He has an elephant in his office. So he's always addressing the elephant in the room. That's part of his ethos. And he's repped by Clutch, which is Shams, and that's who reported it. Nick Nurse is the snitch, and Joel Embiid is not happy. So this Sixers drama is not over, and I'm fucking stoked for it, because he was asked about it the other day. So Embiid said, after about the team meeting, whoever leaked that is a real piece of shit. I love how he said, So he's a real piece of shit. It's really annoying to have to deal with the same shit every time. Basically, Joel's going to be furious. Embiid's going to try and find the supposed snitch. He's like fucking Harry Potter. He's trying to catch the snitch. This is great. It's just the Nurse snitch, isn't it? Joel Embiid's going to kick his head in. That's going to be awesome. And I love it. There's been absolutely... We're going to talk about Embiid again in a second, but wow. This story is the gift that keeps on giving for, the haters among us, of which I am one. Don't get it twisted. Pantsing of the night. Brandon Miller in the overtime today snatched an alley-oop pass midair. Denied. It was... that is such a pantsing. I love it. It's like, what? Trying to throw that over me, idiot. But there was two great pantsing as well. LeBron just dunked straight through Johnny Isaac, even though he's like 74 years old, which is incredible. And LeBron then also went up the other end and blocked the absolute shit out of Tristan da Silva, which is fucked. The dude's a million years old, and he's still doing it. Luckily, this fuckery won't go on much longer, as we keep saying. But that's amazing. Like, you're just getting pants by a 40-year-old dude. Like, that is incredible. But then you got pants by Franz Wagner going, check this out, I'm going to drop a Giants 3 in your face, yeah. It's very good. Who's better than Lonzo Ball?
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. We're coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody. Who's better than Bronny James, Lonzo Ball, Ben Simmons today? Stephon Castle. He is awesome. If you're not watching the Spurs games without Wemby, look, yeah, that's fine. But Stephon Castle's at the Chris Paul Academy for point guardery, and it is amazing. He had 18 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds, a steal and a block today, and just a beautiful little back cut through like all sorts of traffic that just cut the fucking heart out of the Jazz and was a dagger dunk. He is unreal. Like, I fucking love watching Stephon Castle play. Steal of the draft. Love him. And today, better than Bronny James. All right. But my favorite one. What is it? Oh, hang on. It's time for everyone's favorite segments. It's time for the magic tweet of the week. Congratulations to, in my opinion, the greatest coach to ever grace the NBA. A huge thank you to Jenny Buss for making this moment possible. All of his Showtime players are thrilled to see this well-deserved statue come to life. Thanks, Magic. That's the Pat Riley statue that's going to be out there. So that's kind of nice. The weird thing is, so now that Magic is like bought the Commanders and he's like Washington Spirit and stuff like that, he's no longer tweeting out like Lakers game reports. So it sucks. But anyway, it's all right. And finally, Dickhead of the Week.
Dickhead of the Week!
Joel Embiid, bloke flopped on a free throw attempt, tried to fall over Triple J and basically get it a tripping foul on fucking purpose. Joel, you just came back from injury, you fucking idiot. What are you, like, diving onto the floor for? Like, making just, I don't know what is going on in that dude's brain, but it's fucking stupid. Like, not taking any accountability for being a lazy late fuck to shit as well is just unbelievably stupid. There's a reason why the Sixers aren't successful. And it's the big fella. Oh, at 35 and 11. Yeah, and your team got their head kicked in by a shit team. Your team's fucked, mate. Like, accountability starts at the top, and culture is set at the top. If Tyrese Maxey, a young dude, is like, hey, you're always fucking late to shit. I'm injured, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it fucking does, because it shows you, like, lack respect for everybody else involved in the organization and their time. Like, what the fuck? I don't care that you're rehabbing. Like, if you're, like, that late to a bunch of shit, you're a fucking idiot and you're a crap leader. Simple as that. Joel Embiid, though, flopping on a free throw attempt. Oh! And then, like, flopping as he's running up the court, even though Triple J's fallen over like a meter or two behind him. Just fucking lame-ass shit. And this is it. Like, it just sucks. Like, what are you doing? Joel Embiid, grow up, you fucking dickhead. You are the dickhead of the week. All right, let's go do some yeah-nahs right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're listening
Straya.
to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
All right. Let's do it. Let's do some yeah-nahs. I'll tell you what. A couple of good ones here. Hey, we talked about it at the top. This all-star format change. Do we like it? Yeah, nah. Nah. I'll get to it in a second. But the same thing with the NBA Cup. If you have to explain much, you've already lost. Like, you know what's easy to explain? All-Star Game. Oh, gee, you probably involved the All-Stars playing a good game. That's right. All-Star Game. And if a lot of this in my brain is like, if I was trying to explain it to my old man, so, oh, James, what are you up to? I'm like, oh, the All-Star game's on, Dad. He'd be like, oh, yeah, so the All-Stars playing against each other. No, see, actually, what it is it's a round of robin-ish kind of semi-final format where they play up to 40 points, and then they play a game that goes up to 25. And he'd be like, I don't give a fuck. Out. I think it's just fucking stupid. It's just, come on, man. I like that they're trying things. I'll get to that again in a second, as I mentioned, but yeesh. I think they keep trying and tweaking something when there's a very easy fix. I'll get to that in a second. I do like the idea. Like, I think functionally it's okay. And it'd be kind of interesting to see how they make it work. But, again, like, it just seems just weirdly wonky, right? The 4-team tournament style format. And what? You've got 8 players of the All-Star teams and then the winner of the Rising Stars game. It's just, try to explain this to, like, someone who's interested, like, vaguely interested in basketball. Not like a sicko like anybody listening to this show or watching whatever, right? It's like, oh, well, the All-Star game is now 4 separate games made up of these guys, and they also play the winner of the Rising. And you're like, somebody's already fucking tuned out. It's like, wait, so it's not like Michael Jordan going up against Charles Barkley? No, because that'd be so easy. Anyway, I'll talk about that again in a second. Hey, hang on. Are the Spurs fine? Yeah, nah. Yeah. I'm annoyed by this. No Wemby, and apparently no problems. That Utah win, I'm just a bit pissy. It's like, come on, man. Like, Utah, I know that you're on the road. I know the Spurs are at home, but you blow that lead and you're like letting Black Falcon Harrison Barnes carve you up. Chris Paul, a rookie point guard. Meanwhile, your second-year point guard can't shoot for shit and just can't hit anything, and Lowry just isn't taking over and not being efficient. And the Spurs went, oh, it doesn't matter that we don't have Wemby or Devin Vassell. We're fine. God, that's annoying. But the cool thing is, as I mentioned earlier, 8-8, and they're flying. Like, the West is a fucking dogfight anyway, and they're just like, doesn't matter, bro. We've still got Wemby in the fucking garage, man. He hasn't played the last couple. We're all good. It's like, God damn it. Bloody Spurs. They don't even have their coach. It's ridiculous. There you go. Are the Spurs better without Pop and Wemby? Yeah, nah. Nah. And then this last one. God damn it, this annoys me. Hang on. Is Dalton Connect good? Yeah, nah. Yeah. I think I tweeted out, Lakers fans are already insufferable. If they've nailed the Dalton Connect pick and he's actually bloody handy, just come on. It stinks. So what, drops 20? Like, he's just gone on this, like, ripper 5-game run now. And he's hitting everything. He's shooting the piss out of it. He's, like, shooting over 50% from 3 for the month. Like, it's November 22, man. Bloody hell. But anyway, does this mean that Rookie of the Year is hilariously wide open? Yeah, nah, yes. This is the weird one. So Rookie of the Year, if you think about Zachary Rissache, has like a couple of little moments here and there. You've got Stephon Castle absolutely crushing it for the Spurs. You've got Alex Sarr, definitely tall. You've got... anyway, you've got Reed down there with the Rockets, and he's fine. Not doing a giant amount. But outside of that, it's a bit silly with some of this Rookie of the Year stuff. Like, Jared McCain is absolutely shredding it, and I think he's the favorite at the moment. You got Bub Carrington. Zach Edey, who was the favorite, is sort of blown out. Jalen Wells is really good. Donovan Clingan, like, wow, Rookie of the Year is wide open. So we'll get to, I think, next week. Well, we're a month into the season, and we sort of did the standings check last week. And next week we might sort of do, like, the quarter. Yeah, we'll be basically at 20 games-ish, soon enough. Maybe halfway through the end of next week. We'll have the quarter mark awards, but geez, Rookie of the Year is going to suck. What about Unpopular Opinion of the Day?
Now look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Gilbert Arenas is just wildly stupid. He's very, like, funny. Don't get me wrong. But saying that Russell Westbrook is the best point guard of all time is just one of the most egregiously, hilariously fucking bad takes of all time that you're like, what? Like, it's so dumb. You have to do the double take. It's like, no, he doesn't mean that, right? It's like, better than Magic? Better than Steph? Better than Oscar Robertson? The first Isaiah Thomas? Like, he's not even better as a point guard than Chris fucking Paul. Like, what do we do? Jason Kidd, John Stockton, Steve Nash. Like, what? Like, Rusty's in the top 10. He might be in the top 7, but he's not the best. And I say that as someone who fucking loves Rusty. But look at his numbers. It's like, yeah, that's great. Look, I have long been a Russell Westbrook defender for the simple fact that numbers are fucking hard to get. Oh, he's stat padded, man. He's stat padded. Yeah, it's not exactly stat padding because you are actually having to putting in effort to go get rebounds. Yes, you're getting free throw line rebounds, blah, 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 blah. But assists, scoring, like, that's some top level shit. But, like, in terms of orchestrating an offense and shit, like, we'll take Chris Paul. We'll take some other, like, it's just a bit wonky. And I feel like Isaiah Thomas, the original Isaiah Thomas, as weird as he is, and just like as big of a goddamn D-bag as he is, he was wildly talented. But Magic's the best point guard ever. Let's not get this bloody twisted. The fun thing is, why would we not be having conversations about LeBron being the best point guard ever? Or Jokic? Or Luka at some point, maybe. Just saying. But either way, Russell Westbrook. Yeah, not the best point guard of all time. Don't know if that's unpopular. I mean, Gilbert Arenas said it. All right, what about a bit of Outback Takehouse? It's Friday at Outback, and know that means, oh yeah, 2-for-1 slabs of icy cold Fosters. That's right, we're just selling slabs at Outback. Just chuck them over your shoulder, rock up to the barbie, and away you go. Bloody beautiful, these icy cold Foster's lagers. That's right, you can buy Foster's Lager again. I mean, sure, why the bloody hell not? Why wouldn't you be able to? It's a beer. All right, anyway, today's Flame Grill take is fucking with the All-Star Game format is the cheap option. The NBA is being cheap again. You know what would be the easy fix for the NBA All-Star Game? The winners get $1 million each. You know what I just fixed? The fucking All-Star Game. Oh, what we'll do is have 3 teams of 8 play against the winner of the Rising Stars, and then the winner of those goes, fuck up, shut up, idiots, Jesus. No one cares. Like, you've lost me halfway through a fucking sentence. You know what an All-Star Game is? A game between the All-Stars. Simple. You know what will get them fucking motivated to win it? $1 million each. Everybody's got bills to pay. Doesn't matter how fucking rich LeBron is. Do you think he's going to shirk off $1 million if his team wins the fucking All-Star Game? No. Look at the NBA Cup. Everybody's trying their asses off, and that's only $500K per player at the winning fucking end of all that. Everyone's trying their ass off all the time in those games. You can't tell me $1 million on the table for everybody. Bang. Off you go. Just do it. You don't think Jason Tatum's like looking at that going, fuck, I reckon Deuce could use another couple of fucking cars. Maybe an island. It's a single banana, Jim. How much could it seriously cost? Anyway, seriously, this format change in the All-Star Game is always fucking dumb. And they should always come back to the vice president of common fucking sense. Your mate Jim over here. I'm just saying, Adam Silver, low-level 6 figures, that's all I'm asking for. Boom. Off we go. They go, James, should we change the format for the All-Star Game again? I'm like, all right, explain what the format is. They're like, well, there's 4 teams. I'm like, you're fucking done. Nah, shut up. Idiots. What are you doing? It's already confusing. It's going to be a dog's breakfast. You're fucked. It's fucked. Shut the fuck up. Give everybody $1 million, whoever wins. It's $12 million. Oh, what about the runners-up? Yeah, they get nothing. It's not a fucking meritocracy, motherfucker. It's the All-Star Game. This shit isn't hard. You either win or you lose. If you lose, you get 0. There's no fucking runners-up, dickhead. You win, you get $1 million each. You lose, fucking nothing. Sucked in. You better go out and fucking try, says Adam Silver. And boom, off we go. I fixed the All-Star Game. It's not rocket surgery. Bloody hell. All right, there you go. Let's do a quick Australian Player Watch right after Hammer Time.
This is Shane Hill, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
All right, let's do it. Australian Player Watch. Only a couple of Aussies in action today. Josh Green had a nice game. He had 10 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, shot 3 of 4 from the floor, and 3 of 3 at the three-point line. Woo! Greeny. Who's Scott Green? 1 turnover in the 123-121 win over Detroit. Love that for Greeny. He actually really sparked that third quarter thing, as I mentioned at the top of the show. Went on a bit of a tear. Also, his defense was bloody good in that game too. Jingling Joe Ingles and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Look, there is a direct correlation between games in which Joe Ingles plays and games of which the Minnesota Timberwolves win. So, Jim, did he play today? No, he did not play. Coach's decision. Hey, what happened to that game? That's right, they bloody lost! Play your Aussies, because the exact same thing just happened with the Yaz. Paddy Thrills, Paddy Mills, Paddy with the good hair, loses to the Spurs. His old team. You know, Paddy would have been absolutely motivated. How you don't grasp that, Will Hardy, I have no idea. No idea whatsoever. Paddy loses. Paddy and the Yaz, they lose to the Spurs, 118-126. Paddy Copster did not play coach's decision. Will Hardy should be fired for just coaching malpractice. Like, do you want to win the game or not? Or maybe you don't if you're the Jazz, actually. It's just good tanking. And that's it. So out of the 4 games, we only had those Aussies actually involved because... and 2 of them didn't play, which sort of sucks, but you get that on the big jobs. All right, how about a Luke Longley Award for the Role Player of the Week? I love this one. You know, I got a lot of time for Josh Hart. So, actually, I had to explain the other day. So, GQ. You remember magazines? Yeah, I love. I was the editor of many magazines in my day, and I love magazines. I still get GQ. I think there is like some sort of account that was hooked up in the States for my GQ subscription while we were living over there. That's now 6 years ago, and I still keep getting them, and I don't know how or why. So anyway, it rocked up, and it has like Paul Mescal from Gladiator 2 on the cover, and you're like, cool, whatever. But, and sort of usually I can just have a quick look through, flip through it or whatever. And this one had an article about the Nova Knicks. And I'm like looking at it, I'm like, oh, how much do magazine deadlines suck? Because this was obviously written before Dante DiVincenzo was traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves. So it's all pitched as like, they won together at Villanova, man, and then they went and they're on the Knicks and everyone's excited. And it's like, oh, yeah, that's a tough one. Anyway, I talked about Dante earlier. But how about Josh Hart? He's averaging 14, 9, and 6 per game. 14, 9, and 6. Not bad, right? He's got a 70% true shooting percentage. Not bad. Over the last 30 bloody years, there's only been 9 players who have averaged 9 rebounds per game and 6 assists per game for an entire season. And all 9 of them have multiple All-NBA accolades to their names, right? So it's been 30 years, so 9 rebounds and 6 assists per game. It's Russell Westbrook. Not the best point guard of all time, Gilbert. Domantas Sabonis, the Souvlaki King. Julius Randle did it a couple of years ago. Nikola Jokic, 3-time MVP. Draymond Green. Luka Doncic. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Grant Hill, who I loved as a kid. God, he was good. He was such a silky smooth player. And Kevin Garnett, KG. Anything is possible! Even Josh Hart joining this list. He's averaging a 14, 9, and 6. That's really hard to do. And he's just a role player. I love that. So that's the Luke Longley Award for the Role Player of the Week going to Josh Hart. I love him. He just does absolutely everything you need from a role player for that Knicks team. And he's the best. All right. How about a Patty Mills Game Day Bowler Game Day Twitter check-in? Oh, geez, Jim, is this where you just check your phone and look at the Patty Mills stuff? Yes. I'm not going to apologize for it. That's what we do. We actually have some Rock'em Sock'em Block'em Jock'em Landau. Walking in, looking pretty good. There's actually a great photo of him walking past the big H-Town sign. That actually looks awesome. So kind of here for that. We'll see if Patty has gotten anything up. One new post from Patty. Oh, it's him in the misso. There you go. Walking in. Yeah, they ate with this one. Not a crumb was left. Oh, it's just basically, yeah, this is the highlights of him in the misso walking into games. Looking awesome, BT Dubs. Good job, Patty. Just got to. What are you doing? How do you not play Patty Mills against the Spurs? It makes no bloody sense. Anyway, let's get into the game previews for the NBA Cup and the rest of the weekend. Game previews. Game previews. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? Well, I've mostly survived this week without old mate. I'll tell you what, I've earned a few tins tonight. I'm just saying. It is bloody hot in Melbourne, so yeah, a few tins will get deleted. But the thing is, because I'm solo dadding, it'll only be a couple. You got to be responsible when it comes to this stuff, don't you? So we'll see what happens. But either way, it's been really a chaotic, fun, awesome week. Just saying. As I said earlier in the week, it does feel like old mate's road testing, just like kicking me to the curb. And I'm like, yeah, to be honest, I can deal. I mean, she's awesome, don't get me wrong. But it is nice to know that I can solo dad, no stress. It's not rocket surgery, as they say. Do they, Jim? Is that what they say? No, that's what I say. I'm being funny. Right. So tomorrow we have NBA Cup action again, which, remember, anytime we're talking NBA Cup, if we look at these lines and they're a little bit too big, always go the other side of the big lines, because these teams play as hard as they possibly can down to the wire because they have to. And so some of these big ones, for like whether you're a favorite or an underdog, you got to look at the situation and go, right, are they going to keep kicking the crap out of a bad team, or is this bad team going to keep playing down to the wire and maybe just sneak up on this the good team that they're facing? And we have a couple of interesting ones for tomorrow. So Saturday, let's do it. We have Brooklyn at Philly, and the Sixers, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Sixers, are 5.5-point favorites at home. I do not like that. This is a Sixers team that just lost Paul George again. They've got Jared McCain, who can shred. They will be playing Joel Embiid, and big men carve up this Brooklyn Nets team because they've basically got Nick Claxton and Noah Clowney and not much else. But the Sixers are so bad on offense that you feel like Ben Simmons might be a little bit motivated to keep up. And Brooklyn aren't burn it down horrible either. To the point where you're like, oh, Brooklyn have had some of these, wonky, weird losses where they've gotten their heads kicked in. But, I mean, they took care of the Hornets the other day at home. They lost by 10 to the Knicks, and they lost by 2 to the Knicks over the last weekend, right? So they're nice and rested as well. They lost that big Celtics game. They beat the Pelicans the week before. Prior to that, it was like a 5-point loss to the Cavs, a 4-point loss to the Celtics. Both of those on the road. This is just down the road in Philly. I'm going to take Brooklyn. Philly, until it proven otherwise, like they just stink. Like, just pack her up. They're done. And Brooklyn, I mean, this is an NBA Cup game. You don't think they'll be trying their absolute hardest. And they at least look vaguely together. They got a half-decent coach there. Effort. That's what it's all about. Give me Brooklyn plus 5.5. There is not much effort in Washington, and they host the Boston Celtics, who, remember, the Celtics having beaten the Cavaliers. That's right. Cleveland earlier this week. Remember, however, the Celtics lost to Atlanta early on in this NBA Cup. So, but what did Boston need to do then, Jim? Well, they need to pad their point differential. They are 14.5-point favorites, and I am crushing Boston. They are going to obliterate this Washington team, even without the extreme zinger meal. But the entire point is Boston have to go pedal to the metal. They have to boost up that point differential to keep up all their hopes of getting out of the NBA Cup group stage, right? Because it is important, I guess, to win games. But with the Cavs, having beaten the Cavs in the NBA Cup earlier, they're back on level sort of like pegging as the Cavs are. And the big thing will come down to, head-to-head and point differential. So you'd be hoping that they're going to be getting all around absolutely smash-marating Washington, and I think they will. The same thing goes for Golden State. So Golden State have a lead already in the NBA Cup stage, in the group stage. They are playing the New Orleans Pelicans, who are absolutely horrible and lost by 41 and 23 points already this week. Golden State are 9.5-point favorites. I'm, again, crushing 9.5-point favorites. It's actually now 10.5. I'm still going to go Golden State. Even if it's on the road, their defense is good enough. They're playing 12 players, basically, which is chaos. The Pelicans don't have 12 players that are NBA basketball players, basically, right? They had to bring back Alfred Payton. He hadn't been in the league for 3 years. What are we doing? Golden State are going to kill the Pelicans. Give me Golden State. We then have Indy on the road in Milwaukee. It's Algonquin for the good land. Now, you know my complicated feelings on Indy. I can't back them. I can't really talk. Like, they're just so inconsistent. But the problem is they're playing Milwaukee. And Milwaukee's guard defense is absolutely horrible. So Benny Mathurin and Tyrese Halliburton, if there was ever a game where they're going to get a little bit off the chain, it should be this one. But this is a Pacers team that just got their heads kicked in by the Raptors and the Rockets. It's just, I still think, though, Miami just have this weird sort of thing in their brain at the moment where they're not just smashing teams really. So we're maybe going to take this Indy plus 5.5, and I reckon we'll get a really, really close one. Remember, the Pacers were awesome in the in-season tournament last year. The Bucks just got by the Rockets in a stupid win, 101-100 in the Dame time win. They just smashed the Bulls the other day, thanks to 41 from Giannis. I think Indy can keep this close. All right, then we have Atlanta at Chicago, which is an interesting one as well. Dyson Daniels, the Great Barrier Thief. The Bendigo Bandit. Bendigo Jordan, the Vacuum. The Hawks are 1.5-point favorites on the road in Chicago. That does not surprise me. Chicago's guard defense, again, is absolutely horrible. Look what they did to Dame and stuff the other day. Trae Young and Dyson Daniels should probably just carve up Chicago. I'm going to go Atlanta minus 1.5 in the Windy City. We have Portland in Houston. Now, Portland, this is another team that just tries hard all the time. This is a 13.5-point line. I'm going to take Portland plus 13.5. The Rockets are good. The Rockets are deep. Portland sort of go off the boil a little bit here and there, but they do play really, really, really hard a lot of the time. Like a lot of the time. They lost by, 10 to the Thunder the other day. They tried really, really hard. They came off the back of 3 wins. So, on the road, not as easy. And they've lost a bunch of road games already, but I think Portland can probably keep that one close. I'll take the 13.5. Then we have Dallas at Denver. No Luka, as mentioned, at the top for Dallas. Denver, maybe without Jokic. I think they showed a little bit of fight the other day with Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. We don't know if Jokic will be back. Denver are 4.5-point favorites. I like probably, if all was equal, like, it's so hard not knowing if Jokic is going to play, but knowing Luka definitely won't, I'm going to take Denver minus 4.5 at this point because we won't know until a little bit closer. So it's kind of like hedging your bets a little bit there. The minus 4.5, it's like Jokic might play, and if he does, they should win easily. If he doesn't, it's hard because you think Dallas without Luka, you've got Kyrie, you've got Clay, you've got shooting wings, and you've got a couple of bigs flying around. I don't really mind Dallas, but Denver, I mean, Jokic should probably be back, so fingers crossed. We'll say Denver for the moment. But if there's no Jokic, I probably like Dallas. And then finally, Sacramento at the Clippers. Interesting one as well. The Kings are 1.5-point favorites on the road against LA. I like the Kings minus 1.5 in LA. But the problem is, I guess, the Clippers stadium, the arena's gotten a bit wonky, and they've actually ripped off a couple of home wins. So maybe, I was like leaning towards Sacramento. The Suvlaki King took the day off the other day. Hopefully he's all right. But Zoobs crushes it when he's not going up against another decent big. When he is, it all gets a bit weird. So the Clippers have now won what? They beat the Magic and the Warriors and the Jazz at home. And they beat the Warriors. So they've won their last 6 home games. So there's 6 games. I might have to take the Clippers. Norm Powell scoring at will. You've got Harden. Yeah, let's go the Clippers plus 1.5. All right, then we've got Sunday. That's a really fun NBA Cup slate, isn't it? What's that? 8 games. That's a nice one. Sit the squids down. Old mate doesn't get back till Sunday. It's just like, yeah, we're going to watch basketball all day Saturday, boys. Sunday, we have the Knickerbockers at Utah. We'll take the Knicks there because Utah are just frustratingly bad. The Detroit Basketball Pistons at Orlando. Orlando having on a big West Coast road trip. They come home. They should probably still have enough in the tank to get by Detroit. Detroit are a dangerous floater, but as we saw today, they lose to Charlotte, and they're not that great at playing spoiler on the road because it's bloody hard. But I'll take Orlando at home where they are really good. Memphis at Chicago. Chicago on a home back-to-back. The Grizzlies just play tough. I'm going to take the Grizzlies at Chicago. The wheels slowly falling off this Bulls team. Portland at Houston. Both teams having just played the day before. I'm going to still take Houston to win both of those games back-to-back. Portland will try hard, but they'll probably lose both. Charlotte, they go to Milwaukee. It will be Algonquin for the good land on Sunday because I think they win that one. Charlotte just on the road. I mean, it's actually a pretty interesting one because at Milwaukee, actually, maybe that's a good, interesting spoiler. I'll probably go Charlotte at whatever line that is. Milwaukee might pull out the close win because, yeah, the guard defense of the Bucks is horrendous. Golden State go to San Antonio. I'll take the Warriors in that one despite having played in New Orleans the day before. San Antonio, I think just against the defense of the Warriors, just not much of a chance. Then we have Lakers Denver. I'm going to take the Lakers. Because they are flying, and the Nugs, having played the day before, don't know if they'll try both Jam and Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. in a back-to-back. We'll see what happens. But I will take the Lakers. Then we have Monday, a game that should be really, really, really interesting. Minnesota at Boston. What a fun game this is, apart from the fact that the Wolves aren't very good. Like, frustratingly so, as I mentioned earlier. They will probably lose that game. Give me Boston. That's the KG Bowl. Indy host Washington, despite Indy stinking it up. I think they're still too good for Washington. Dallas go to Miami. Oh boy, it's 2006 NBA Finals all over again, Jim. Yes, they also played another final series since then, Jim. You see, that was the 2011 one, and that's the one that Dallas won. Yeah, you're right. Jimmy Butler hates Najee Marshall. They got into a fight last year. This is going to be a big Jimmy Butler game. Give me Miami. Just saying. The Clippers go to Philly. I think this is the one that Philly win. I think Zoobs just falls apart. You've got Batum up against his old mates. Big booty Kyle Lowry. I think Philly can get a win at home against the Clippers after maybe they sort of get some stuff right and win that game against Brooklyn tomorrow. Like Brooklyn, the +5.5 on Saturday. I'm taking Brooklyn +5.5. Philly should win that, though. I think Brooklyn will push them right to the end. Philly, I reckon, can get back-to-back wins and actually beat the Clippers. Clippers on the road, bit of a different story. Especially west to east coast, bit of a tough one. Cleveland's host Toronto. They should smash Toronto. Look, the Raptors, though, they get Scoob back. RJ Barrett's in the middle of one of his 2-week runs of being good again. But Cleveland still should be way too good. And then finally, Brooklyn at Sacramento. I think the Kings at home should be too good for a Brooklyn team that has just played. Again, this has gone from east to west. So I'll take Sacramento hosting the Nets. And that is it. What a week. What a week it has been. It has been a busy one. There's been some shorter shows in there. Let me know if you like or don't like that. Because, yeah, I just sort of rushed some of these out just because I had to go do school pickups and all that sort of stuff. And daycare and gear without old mate to sort of do that stuff. So, because I do the drop-offs and she does the pickups, you know, so I'm going to be taping the show either in the big fancy studio or in our studio, blah, blah, blah. So I think we'll try to keep, especially, you know, the daily show. We managed to pull that off and actually keep going daily. And I guess, and I hope that fingers crossed and I hope that fingers crossed, you know, we'll keep doing it obviously every day. I feel like we just have to make sure that we make it manageable and then I can smash through some shows here and there and you're still getting all the info you need. So shout out if you've got any ideas, thoughts, recommendations, stuff you want to see more of, stuff you want to see less of, just give us a shout. I'm always here. Anyway, but we'll be back on Monday with more NBA Straya gear to wrap up a big NBA Cup Saturday. And of course, some awesome games on Sunday and Monday. So in the meantime, make sure you're following NBA Straya on Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, and YouTube, all the good stuff. Get around NFL Australia, the solo Jimmy pod for this weekend, week 12 of the NFL. It should be a very good one. And get around all the other shows. We've got the AFLW Today show. That is heating up. Awesome prelims ahead. And then the grand final. The Cricket Today podcast. First test started today. How good was that? Aussies crushing it. What else? The Football Today podcast for all your soccer needs. Hold all tickets for the GGs and away you go. Chuck us a rating review on your Apple Podcast, your Spotify, YouTube, whatever app you're using the Android phone. Come on, get around it. Like, subscribe, star, comment. Chuck in some comments. Do some reviews. Come on. Help your mate Jim out. He's had a bloody full week of solo dadding. He's gotten to the end of his rope. He needs a few tins and a couple of reviews. Come on, help a brother out. Big thanks always going to From Oslo for the intro and outro song. Check out their new band House Hats as well as Joshua De Laurentiis, Fascinator, Gold Mines, Ramshack Alarmy, Iowa, Sex Jedi, Green, and Dozers. They're behind all the tunes you hear throughout the show. Smash them all at Bandcamp, Triple J Nerf, Facey, Apple Music, Spotify, whatever you listen to your tunes through. Do that. NBA Straya supports Australian bands. So should you. We'll chuck Cooking with Baines on this one. On the end of this one, I'll use my words. That'll be good. And we will catch you on Monday, you dickheads. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. And we will catch you Monday. This is NBA Straya saying, Little Hosanna!
Honestly, Cooking with Bainsy is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
And now it's time for Cooking with Bainsy with your host, Aaron Bangers Baines. Oh, yes. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, look at you over there. Oh, yes. I see you over there, Cheryl. You're here every week. Oh, love you too. Oh, love you too, hon. Yes, look at you. Oh, this is great. Oh, come on. Oh, settle down. Oh, yeah, that's right. Thanks for that. That's ripper. All right, g'day. Welcome to Cooking with Bainsy, and I'm your host, Aaron Bangers Baines. Yep, that's it. Cooking with Bainsy. I love this. And in this here episode, we are going to whip you up one of my absolute favourite Australian classics that you can have whenever. You can have it for brekkie. You can have it for lunch. You can have it for tea. It is that absolute modern Australian classic. It's avocado toast. Oh, yes. That's right. It's an absolute Aussie classic now, mate. And after I got this recipe from my little mate Deli, I love me some avo toast. And, maybe not as much as my mate Deli, you know what I mean? But anyway, it's easy as, mate. I punch through enough of this that it definitely helps me keep up this physique, you know what I mean? Every brekkie I'm on this train, so I reckon you better jump on board. All right, so it is bloody simple, mate. All you gotta do is go down to your soupy and just grab a loaf of whatever bread you like to toast up. Me, I like a bit of multigrain. I like a little bit more crunch in my toast. Just like the screens I set for the Celtics, a bit of crunch is what I like. Then I grab a ripe old avo, grab a lemon on your way out, and away we go. All right, now, and this is very important. A lot of people try to do fancy shit to avo toast. And look, you can if you really, really want to get all fancy-pantsy. You can put some goat's cheese on there. You can put some tomatoes in there. You can put a bit of red onion if you feel like it. Sprinkle some of that bullshit ducker, which I think is just fucking crumbs or whatever the fuck shit it is. But anyway, all you actually need to do is keep it simple as, mate. Toast, avo, bit of lemon. So it's simple. Fang your bread in the toaster. Then sit back, crack a tin, and let it all get nice and browned up. Doesn't matter what time of the day it is either. When you're cracking a tin and cooking with Bainsy, it's always time for a tin. So, now, slice up your avo, dump it into a bowl, scoop it out. Yep, there you go. Scoop her out into a bowl. Now, mush that bastard up into a paste. Just mush her up. There you go. Just mush her up. Fuck it. There you go. Yep. Now, once that's done, it's all mushed up, all nice. Get your knife. Now, your toast is done. She's popped up. Get your toast out. Now, slather that avo all over your toast about, you go 1 to 2 inches thick, I reckon. That's how I usually go, Absolute, just smother it in avo. Beautiful. Oh, look at that. Then drizzle a bit of lemon on top, and away we go. Just bloody well. Look at that. Put a bit of salt and pepper on top, and all you have to do then, get your bloody munch on. Oh, how good is that? It is an absolute bloody ripper of a treat. The best bit is it's good for any time of day. Brekkie, avo toast. Lunch, avo toast. Tea, avo toast. It's just bloody delicious, mate. And look, of course, you got to make sure you get your avos when they're in season, or else you'll never be able to afford a bloody house. All right, how easy was that? Thanks to my little mate Deli for the recipe, and I hope yous all enjoy it too. All right, avo toast. Legendary. All right, tune in next week for a brand new recipe, and we'll see yous then on the next episode of Cooking with Bainsy.